Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be making a poster design with a combination of analog tools and Adobe Photoshop. Alright, so to get started, we're going to be actually using Adobe Photoshop. What I'm going to do is pull this image in. Let's get that sized up. I know I want to create like kind of a strip right here in the middle and use the eyes later in some of the analog techniques we're going to do. And then I'm actually going to do like a halftone effect in the filter gallery. 10 and 10, that's where it's at, so let's get that going. And then I'm gonna go in with the curves and kind of adjust some of this a little bit. Made this last one super harsh. I'm actually gonna just go in with the soft brush just to bring down some of that white a little bit. Now I want to create the actual container for this. So I'm gonna do something right there. We're gonna actually grab all of this and put it in there as a clippy mask. All right, cool. I'm gonna bring in some type. That way I know how I wanna lay out the composition. Vision is what I want this to say, and I already have the font here. All right, let's size that up. And we're probably gonna have to do some stretching. I know that Spotify debate happened recently, and I'm all for stretch type when you need it. Is that spelled right? E-I-S-I-O-N, should be good. I want this to stretch up a little bit to take up more of the space. Probably something like that right up on the edge. I may need to bring it in a little bit because I'm actually gonna do a cool effect that I like to do where I duplicate this, turn it into a smart object, and then I use the outer glow to kind of create almost like an ink bleed, but it's a little bit similar to like a spray paint pattern almost. I just like how it looks on the edges. We give it a little bit of noise, we adjust it like this, figure out how much we want. See, this bigger the size goes up, it gets a little blurry, and I kind of like that. And just adjust this a little. All right, I could work with that. Now I want to change this up a little here. Yeah, I like that. I like where we're at. Pretty simple layout, but I want to get some type down here. Maybe just a Neue Haus grotesque. Go back to the basics. So I have this idea of having this kind of all laid out like this, and then we'll go in with the marker and cover up some of the things to create its own new meaning, kind of how they do with those old like newspaper style things. You want this justified. Turn off hyphenation. This could be a lot smaller. Right there should be good. Let's change it to medium. Kind of are gonna have to resize this a little bit. All right, cool. I'm liking that. I want this to be a little bit bigger though. All right, so let's get this printed and start messing with the analog techniques. So I saw the print was good to go, so I got started by sketching the area I wanted to cut out. I do this to make sure it's nice and even and everything looks good. Then I whipped out the trusty X-Acto knife and got to cutting. This is sometimes a tedious process, but it's also pretty relaxing to just sit there and cut out shapes rather than be stuck in Photoshop all day. So I cut that out and made sure it was nice and even. So now that I got that set up, I was gonna get ready to add my construction paper. You know, I had to use that trusty Crayola. So I looked through and I decided some of these warmer colors would work, maybe a red, yellow, or even an orange. Then I hit the tape and made sure everything was nice and secure. So when I started doing my texturizing, it wouldn't get in the way. I then cut the excess tape off. Then I brought out the nail file, which I use as kind of like a sandpaper to texturize not only my type, but the imagery as well. It's nice doing this, and I had to speed it up quite a bit because it takes a while sometimes, but it adds some really raw texture you just can't really get with anything digital. The last step was outlining the different areas of the type that I want to create my kind of blackout poetry type of thing. I thought it came out pretty cool, and it's a nice little touch to have something haptic like that on there. Now we'll scan the poster in, get back into Photoshop, and finish this bad boy up. Alright, now I'm actually gonna fix this up. Go in here and do some minor adjustments. I like how the scan turned out though. You can see we got all that nice texture that we created with not only the blur on the type, but the texture from the laser printer as well as the texture from the sandpaper. We also have some underlying dirt, and I like this small little shadows these create when you cut them out manually. I know people say, oh, you could cut that out in Photoshop. And it's like, I know you can do pretty much anything in Photoshop, but there's something I like about doing it this way. And so we see our little poem thing came out to plan possible fortune by planning circumstances far ahead. Probably gonna adjust the levels a little bit. So what I'm going to do here is just also throw a hue and saturation. What you can do is bring this up quite a bit and then also do a gradient map. Go in with the mask right here and get that out. That should be good. All right, let's get this one exported. So here's the finished product. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's always fun creating posters using some analog techniques as well as some of the fun stuff in Photoshop. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you want to see more, you can check out this video here or this playlist here, and I'll see you next time. Peace.